Item 2 is a zoning ordinance amendment regarding the siting of medical marijuana collective facilities. So why are we developing this ordinance? In many communities in which marijuana dispensaries have been established, communities have documented the serious adverse impacts associated with such uses. These communities and the media have reported increased crime, including burglaries, robberies, violence, illegal sales of marijuana to the use by minors and others without medical need in areas immediately surrounding medical marijuana dispensaries. Other negative secondary effects include the smoking of marijuana in public areas and adverse impacts on neighborhood businesses, including odor, noise, and traffic, and other environmental hazards associated with the use. The County of San Diego could reasonably anticipate experiencing similar adverse impacts and effects should this use not be reasonably regulated in the unincorporated county. Therefore, the intent of developing these regulations would be to assure that the public health, safety, and welfare are addressed by including requirements for the protection of neighborhoods from impacts for which this use, if unregulated, may cause, to assure that marijuana is not diverted for illegal purposes, that its use is limited to authorized legal use by qualified patients as required by state law, and to establish regulations providing the county direction on marijuana use for medical purposes while the courts continue to address the apparent conflict between federal and state laws.
Exclusively for land use, locations and siting. In terms of whether it's a good idea that we have these or don't have them, we're not here for that. We're here for zoning ordinances stated so we can determine where or where not these can be located. So I'm urging you to limit your testimony to those things that we're to consider and not whether this is a good idea or not. I appreciate that. First of all, just prior to public testimony, there are two pink slips here that I wanted to give time to someone else, and we're not going to permit that, and we normally don't. James Freeburn.
2 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, I did elect to come here. My name is James Freeburn. I have residences in San Diego, the city, at 4593 39th Street. I'm also making a residence in East County Boulevard, 1585 Jewel Valley Road. So I have the perspective of a city dweller and also someone who lives where the city dwellers could say is in the middle of nowhere. I want to make a simple observation that I've lived in California since 1989, which was 5 years before Proposition 215 passed. I've experienced California before that and after that. I got to say the quality of my life in California is unchanged. And right now, medical marijuana in California is largely unregulated, or regulations just coming into effect in the last few years. So really it's at its most, I don't know what you might call flagrant. I've seen the ads in the Reader that people might complain about that do seem a little audacious and beyond the scope of medical use. And nonetheless, my life is unaffected by this community, and I found this community to be nothing but friendly and with medical need that they should be allowed to address. So I think, and I know, I look in this room and it's mostly empty. And what I see here is some advocates kind of sitting in one place who are well-versed. They come to all these meetings. I've started to come to some of them. They're well prepared to speak, and I know the detractors are also, you're going to see detractors come. And they'll be well versed to speak. And what I do is I see mostly an empty room. So I have a feeling that most residents of California are like me and largely unaffected by this. So what that says to me is that while regulation is certainly appropriate to any business that's emerging, the regulation should move towards a side of relaxed regulation. Because I don't think there's a big problem here. I don't sense that. I haven't personally sensed that, and I ask anybody to look at their own personal life, not what the police say or the white paper says, but just study your own life, and ask yourself, is my life gotten worse with the advent of medical marijuana in California? And if something has happened to anyone here, is it quantitative or qualitatively different than the risk you take by having a liquor store in your neighborhood, or a bar, or a convenience store, which are all subject to extra criminal activities? Is it qualitatively different? And would we place any extra restrictions on a phenomenon that's addressing a medical.
Sum it up, please.
Okay, so I asked, to sum up, I asked that you, like me, be neutral in this, and that you look at this not from a place of whether this is a good or bad thing, but really assess what the threat is, and then make regulations that are appropriate to containing the level of threat you really feel personally. Thank you.
And thank you, sir.
Hello, my name is Larry Sweet. I am, first I'm a Ocean Beach resident, post office box 70071 down in Ocean Beach. I'm the member of the Medical Marijuana Task Force. I am also a board member for Americans for Safe Access here locally. As you can see, I'm also active with some of the immigration issues here in town, as well as a number of other things. The thing I'm here to talk to you about is the misinformation that you're getting from this podium. Number one, nobody behind me anywhere talks about caregivers anymore. We don't use a caregiver model for preventing or for giving medical marijuana to patients. Caregivers are just, it's one patient to another patient. That's all it is. There are no caregivers. For the youth, there's never been one, not even one dispensary operator, employee. There's never been a case brought for a medical dispensary serving a minor, ever. They don't do it. As far as minors are concerned, by the looks of the people I'm looking at right here, right now, I have to tell you, the minors that you know, some minor that you know, has far better access to medical marijuana than you ever will. You don't protect the kids by being over-restrictive and keeping patients away from the medicine that they need. We need that medicine. We need that medicine desperately, some of us, to be able to get up in the morning and come down here and talk to you. There are a lot of people that can't come here, so some of us come and talk to you for them, and we don't do as good a job as we'd like to. But you're going to put us out in the wilderness now so that we have to scream to reach anybody. You know, the people that need this medicine don't have the opportunity to travel 30 miles to find it. They don't have the opportunity to go down to somebody that's in the know and say, where can I score? They have to have something that's right in front of them where they can see it close, where it's convenient. And not have people from the county being paid to come down here and tell you that medical marijuana is wrong, when what they're being paid to do is to dissuade youth from using hard drugs.
You need to sum it up, sir, please.
Yes. My summation is that I'd really like to have the harm group stop giving you misinformation. Also that these groups, these locations, are so far away as to be abusive to people that actually need medical marijuana. Thank you.
You're in Ocean Beach, and City of San Diego has their ordinances for you.
Yes, and I'm working
You
on
don't
that.
have, yeah, you don't have to go out there.
No, I
Yeah.
don't, but I am speaking to people that do have to go out there.
I understand.
People that can't come here and speak to you.
And you did it very eloquently, too. Thank you.
Thank you.